Today I'm going to show you how to make this motif that I call a variation on a theme, and it is a variation of the extremely popular African flower hexagon motif. I'm going to start by making the first 4 rounds of the motif, which are the center, these 2 rounds that form the petal, and then a 4th round. After that, I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to I'll do a second video that shows how to do these next 4 rounds where you get this interesting little variation that's kind of fun. So anyway, I have already made the African flower hexagon motif, and here is my array of yarns that I will be using for this particular version, and I'm going to start with yellow. I learned how to use a nose to peen, and I've been kind of going nose to peen crazy since I learned how to do it. So you start by taking your tail end and putting that over your working end and making a slip knot. That's the first thing you do. Then, for the purposes of an African flower motif, you will chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 things I forgot to mention, I'm using worsted weight yarn and a 4.5 millimeter hook. So I've chained 5. Now I'm going to insert the hook through that back ridge and make a slip stitch to join the first chain to the last chain. Now, I've kind of come up with a variation for how I like to make my first double crochet. Often we just do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we move forward from there. The other day I was just sort of playing around and I thought, what would happen if I did a chain 1 and then inserted the hook in the back loop, pulled the yarn to the front side, and then did a yarn over and went through both loops. And I was kind of happy with the result. So then that's how I made my first double crochet, but you make yours however you want to make it. And then I worked another double crochet into the ring. Now I chain 1, and I'm going to make 2 more double crochets, working those into the ring. And now I've got 2 of these 2 double crochet shells done, so I need to do 4 more. So chain 1, getting close. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need to make 1 more. All right, so I finished the first round, but my yarn is a bit longer than I need it. And I'm going to need to do a little bit of weaving in of ends because I don't like to join. I like to join it separately. Gets what I think of as a tidier look. So anyway, there will still be plenty of ends to be woven in later, but now I'm going to my next color, which for me is Grape Fizz. It's a little bit darker color than I wanted to use for video, but hopefully you're able to see it. And what you're going to do is you're going to join with a slip stitch in any chain 1 space. And then you can chain 3, or you can work your first double crochet the way I do with the chain 1. Insert the yarn into that back ridge, yarn over, through both loops, and you're done. This time into each chain one space, I want to work 2 double crochets, a chain one, and then 2 more double crochets. That's our first shell. So now we just need to do that 5 more times. So you find your next chain one space, work 2 double crochets, a chain one, 2 more crochets. We're a third of the way there. Again, 2 double crochets, chain one, 2 double crochets. Halfway done. And we are now on our 4th shell. Oh, so close, so close. You can get a very interesting look if you change colors between the 3rd and the 4th round. I'm sorry, between the 2nd and the 3rd round. I most often prefer to have it, but it's a very different look. I wouldn't say I prefer it, but I enjoy the very floral look that you get when you work the 2nd and 3rd rounds in the same color, so I tend to do that most often. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to my first double crochet, and I'm going to have to slip stitch my way over to the first chain one. And again, you're going to make your first double crochet here. We're going to work a total of 7 double crochets into each chain one space. And you do your first double crochet of the round however you want. I'm going to do the chain one, then insert the hook in that back ridge and yarn over and go through 2. So now I need to do 6 more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to be ending this round with a total of 42 stitches. And then you just go right to the next chain one. And you work 7 double crochets. Again, we're about a third of the way through. We are a third of the way through. Now we're working toward halfway through. Halfway through our 4th shell, 2 more double crochets, and then we'll take a moment before we finish to gaze at what we've done. You can see it's really starting to take shape here. You get that real hexagon flair to it. And our last chain one space for these 7 double crochet shells that we're making that form the top of the flower petal. See, I wasn't counting so carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we're done. And now we go to that first double crochet. A little bit awkward sometimes. that strange noise is my refrigerator. And then we're going to pull that through now. I don't care for the look of doing a yarn over on that last stitch and pulling the new color through. It just looks awkward to me afterwards. I can always pick it out and that bothers me. So I don't do that. Next, I've got Shocking Pink. And there's a mistake that I tend to make if I'm not paying attention. So I start by putting a slip knot on my hook, and I go to the far right of any of the 7 double crochet shells, and I just work a single crochet stitch. And you do that in each of the 7 double crochets of the shell that you're working on. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. You do a yarn over, and you're going to go around this. It's not even really a space, but it's where the 2 shells meet on from the second round. Then you do a yarn, you work a double crochet. So you do a yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. Now, this is one place I can sometimes make a mistake. Sometimes I skip right over this double crochet, and I have to pull it out and go back. So you want to make sure you get 7 single crochets before you work that long double crochet that pulls everything together. So now yarn over around the second row, yarn over, and take off 2 loops twice. Okay, so we've got 7 single crochets done again. We're ready for the yarn over. Get that long double crochet done. Yarn over, do that long double crochet. Oh, we're so close. We've completed 4 of them. We are 2/3 of the way through. That clicking you hear is my dog walking around my office, coming to check to make sure that I'm, not getting into trouble, doing something without him. So here is the last place on this 4th round where I tend to make a mistake. A lot of times I finish up that 7th single crochet on the last 7 double crochet shell, and I get so excited I join it to the first one and completely overlook the long double crochet that I need to complete. But it would seem that I have managed to make this the first 4 rounds of this African Flower Hexagon motif without incident. And we will stop here, and in the next video I will show you how to work the variation.